facts, 4 of the 5 facts he uttered. Look, alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
Alternative facts.
Any information that turned out to be so false and fake, out. I think it's a disgrace. And that's something Nazi Germany would have done and did do.
Alternative facts.
Mani Diagib, agus Falcher Overshach, Radio Pobble Erris, a Creelu, a Fod Erris, agus the Cantor Maguert, Chilnecha, Puncha Octa Fem, agus Gujevin, Nislenhe, agus in Fodja Owala, and the Hashna Electronaha. Joy and Claire Shachtanul, at the Raheen, agus a Tree Hog, and in Yanamid Play, Kiru, agus Spinu, or Hursi and Teal, where it has a Lahar and a Fobble. And in Yanamid Chirak, and Firiki, na Free Iriki, agus a Noi, na Brega Brada, a Skaru, agus a Skagu on a Hele, agus a Nirin Yaglan and Noctu. Shortland Bashen Gadi and Claire, Alternative Facts. Alternative Facts is your Saturday program broadcast live on Erris FM at 90.8 FM between the hours of 1 and 3 o'clock. It is a program in which we, the panel, bring to your attention, discuss and evaluate local, national and international news as presented to the public. On the panel today, we have two of the usual crowd, myself and Ted Sweeney, Eddie Devon, Ted Sweeney. On the electronic gadget up there is James Stevens, and he'll be joining in the panel as well. He's nearly a regular member of the panel, so he'll be talking to us today as well. We will endeavour.
Rita will be here.
I say Rita Scott will be here as well, or Rita Munley, that she was many years ago, and I think herself and James may be a bit related, are ye? No, shh. No word coming out. Of course, Rita has warned us that we have to be gentle with her today. All right, Rita?
Yeah, it was my first day on the desk today, so I was a little bit nervous.
And what made you think that we would not be gentle with you?
Well, I've heard when you and Paul got into it on air, so...
Well, we don't have Paul today, so...
See the way she didn't blame you, James.
Oh, well, she
for
knows,
jumping the gun and things like that.
She knows better. That's the thing. When it's family connections, you know all the politics and all the reasons why not to say something.
Anyhow, Rita is relatively new to the job here, and we welcome you very much, Rita.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to your continued support or
Thank you.
Continued good work. You have done very well so far.
Thank you. I'm really, really enjoying it now. And our podcasts on Spotify are actually doing really, really well. And we've listeners from Oregon in the United States, Russia, Switzerland, Thailand. Oh, we've listeners from all over the place, world. So it's really good.
How about Liverpool? Will there be somebody listening from Liverpool today?
Well,
Paul is there, you see.
You see, we can add that to the list now as well.
In fact, Paul has already been on to us. He sent me a message through WhatsApp, and I'm going to check up the article that he's given us, and it involves Trump, as we always come back to him. It always seems to happen. So,
and now that we're talking about it, that involves we're going out on social medias as well.
Yeah, and I've just shared the link to the YouTube channel that we're going out on. So, if you want to, you'll see us on Facebook if you're listening in on the airwaves at the moment. But you hit the link, and it'll bring you to the YouTube platform, and you can watch the show live.
So any of you will listen to us, no matter where you are listening to us. If you want to get involved, if you want to ask a question or make a statement or contradict something that has been said, you're very, very welcome to
or start a row over something.
No, Ted, no. Just keep it quiet for a while, anyhow. But you're all very welcome. And anybody who wants to call in and talk to us, would be delighted to hear from you. And so let's again, like I said earlier on, we talk about local, national, and international news, and we'll start off with the local news as we have it here. And one of the first items on the agenda here is the Erris Athletic Club here, and they're doing excellent work for the potential athletes of Erris, and they are going from strength to strength, and thanks for that is due to the wonderful or excellent administrative or organizational team. And of course, one cannot forget the athletes as well. They're shining in different fields of their activities. We'll have one of the Erris Athletic Club organisers here later on in the day, Etna Dixon. She'll be talking about the Youth Disability
The Erris
Programme.
Youth Disability Network.
So we'll be talking to her later on. Now, last week, Joanne Padden did us all proud when she won the club's first ever senior medal in the cross-country event. Well done, Joanne, and long may you continue to do us all proud. Congratulations must also be go to Alva, Emma, James, Niamh, and Sean, all members of the Erris Athletic Club, who gave a very good account of themselves in the Connacht Indoors in Athlone last week and established personal bests. And they are also going forward to the national indoor events next month. So very well done, Erris Athletic Club. We hope you keep shining and doing us proud. Now, an activity called Arts and Shenanigans.
This started this week here at Erris
on
Disability.
Thursday, yeah.
Fully
What are they supposed to be? What are the shenanigans? And we know what art is.
Well, the idea behind it is just for like people to come along. They don't have to be any good at any art at all. It's all part of kind of putting yourself out there and being creative and meeting up with other like-minded people and basically having a bit of crack.
It's basically a night out.
Yeah, the first meet is they'll be having 6 weekly meetings. Isn't
Yeah,
it? Why
hoping
6 weekly? Why not a monthly or fortnightly or something?
Well, the reason we do that is because when you think about it, like if you run things at a very short space of time, interest is kind of lost. Where you have a bigger gap, then you're going a better way. People show more interest, and to be honest, like the seats filled very, very fast, and there was an awful lot more inquiries looking to go, but we couldn't cater for the numbers. So I suppose in a way we work it now every 6 weeks, and we just see how it goes. It's a new thing.
When you say we, James, are you part of it?
Me and Irish and Esclora as a body in itself.
Yeah.
It's like we're there for the community and we're trying to create more things for the community, and this is one of those things.
Last week's event was mostly art, I believe.
Oh
yeah.
Jean Beard is the artist doing the class, and then they've a lovely spread laid out for everybody. They had like cheese, crackers, fruit, pastries, but the old prosecco, the old wine.
Yeah, see, it's not just an art class. It's a
shenanigans.
Yeah. It's a night out basically, and it's
lighthearted,
and it's nothing heavy.
Having fun.
As Rita said, like you don't have to be an artist to be.
That's something we all need a bit of fun.
Well, that's it, yeah.
And I had shared it up on the Erris Journal. I'd taken a picture of the class and I shared it. And there was a lady that had been there and she said it was an absolutely fantastic night. It's so much fun and they're really looking forward to the next one. So I would say to people to keep an eye on the Erris and Esclora Facebook page, and they'll have it up there when the next class is coming up. And pre-booking is essential because, as James said, it filled up fairly quickly and there was still people ringing the evening of it to see could they get
I take it further information can be got from the desk here.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
So you have to book for each one separately.
It would be, because it's not been done in blocks as such. It's just,
Yeah, well, the kind as we look forward to their continued program and kind as we'll report on it as we go along.
That's it, yeah.
They might even participate, Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
It's a night out.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why not?
You can do the art and Eddie can do the shenanigans.
You might be far wrong there.
that brands me, doesn't it?
Oh, that's it. Definitely.
Have I to put up with the two of you now?
No, that's all.
Double trouble.
Double trouble.
You'll get a pain in your neck turning left and right, huh?
As long as we don't start on each other.
Oh, that's it.
Geez, that
Gets bad then.
That could be fun. myself and Ted will be watching.
He's too good with the one-liners, so he always gets one up on me.
Well, he jumps the gun, you see.
Oh,
That's
that's
a speciality.
that is plagiarism. That's my line.
Can we get on with the local news?
Oh, please do. I think it was
Yeah.
yourself who went astray now there. You see, you jumped the gun.
Okay. Cara Erris are be getting monthly coffee mornings between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. in their house on Church Road here in Balmullet. All are invited if you like a cup of coffee now and again. It's when is it starting? The 7th of March, and I think it'll be
a monthly thing.
monthly. So kind of 7th, probably maybe 7th of the. Anyhow, we'll have it here again at the regular intervals.
What's the time?
It's 11 and 1, between 11 a.m.
11
and
and
1 p.m. And you get coffee and a biscuit or a sandwich or something. You know. So I take it there'll be a box around that you could rattle as well.
Well, you never know.
Well, kind of thing is that they're a worthy organisation.
Oh,
They really are. The
Definitely,
support
yeah,
they
yeah.
give to people is amazing.
They are, yeah. Kind of organisations like that very well deserve our support. And
Yeah.
we should support them. Now, a Special Olympics information meeting will be held in the IWA Centre in Logmore. Now, I take it this might be in some way related to the information we're going to have later on about the Irish Youth Disability
They'll be able to fill
program.
us
They'll be
in
able
more
to
about
tell
that.
us more about that. But kind of a meeting will be held on Monday, 24th of February. That's next Monday. To establish whether or not it would be advisable or would it be possible or feasible to have a Special Olympics committee and team here in Erris. And it would be a nice thing to have. We have Olympians here, so why not have the Special Olympics as well?
So true.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested, next Monday at 7:30, the meeting is on. Go come and support it. Now, President, the art exhibition presently here in Erris in Florida is by Crona Gallagher. She is an award-winning artist both in the visual and literary art. She is based in the Leitrim Sculpture Centre, Manor Hamilton, County Leitrim.
And Crona as well. She's the daughter of Robert Gallagher, who was the dentist here in Balmullet.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's your little bit of local
she's
connection.
Donegal interest as well.
Oh,
Eh?
oh, you'll always
Her
come
mother,
back to Donegal.
her mother was a Donegal woman.
No way.
Oh yeah.
And I think her mother was an artist as well.
It was German, I think.
Robert Gallagher's wife.
Oh no, his wife was. We won't go into that.
Oh, she was Donegal, but she was a school teacher, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the. Of course, we've had an awful lot of people in. There was a lot of traffic in through the gallery with this exhibition. I have to say, it's absolutely fabulous and a lovely woman to work with.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to buy one of the pictures, take it. They are for sale.
They are for sale.
Who do you contact?
Here is our student Laura.
Ours in his glory, yeah.
And like the work that's went into some of those pieces, because like she's scratching at copper to make the images, like, and like the amount of work, I'd say, because I'd asked her, I said, like, each piece must just take you so long to do when you're just scratching away at the copper. But she said, like, she just gets lost in her work. She finds it very
She enjoys
therapeutic.
it, in other words.
But fantastic the work she's done out there. So definitely come in and have a look if you're passing by.
Does she attend here now and again?
She was here for the opening night.
Yeah.
And she gave a talk and explained how she made each piece and a bit of history about herself. And lovely lady.
Okay, well, hope wish her success in her exhibition, and if anybody is interested in buying one, just ask at the desk, and you'll be given all the details.
Exactly.
Now, Balmullet Library will be hosting a screening of the award-winning Small Things Like These. That's a picture, a film, or something.
Yeah.
A movie, with Cillian Murphy.
It's based on the novel of Claire Keegan. Who's Claire Keegan? You know her.
I'm not sure now myself, but I know the story's based around the mother-baby homes.
Yeah.
And then Cillian Murphy is a fantastic actress. You hear me? Actor. So
Actor, yeah.
I'd imagine it'd be quite a powerful story and performance from him.
Yeah, well, it's a free showing here.
Well, that's it. Free night out.
At Erris Disability, free night out, February the 27th. That's next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yeah.
At 8 p.m. So come and see. It's a free night. So what more do you want?
And even in general, when the cinema's on, it's very cheap to come to the cinema here.
Yeah.
So it's a nice night out.
It
really
be,
is.
Yeah. Oh, the Ballyglass RNLI, the lifeboat, they're having their the fundraising branch of the RNLI are having their annual general meeting next Wednesday, February the 26th at 8 p.m. Now, the lifeboat to me is a very good organization and was one of the best things that maybe happened in this area. But they are looking for more volunteers because volunteerism seems to be a bit on the wane at the moment. So can anybody interested in helping the effort to save lives at sea could come to the AGM next Wednesday night.
And that is being held where?
There's a fellow there, one of them being presented with the long service medal as well.
Right.
A fellow by the name of Eddie Diver.
Oh,
whoever he is.
I heard he's a bit of a dodgy character myself.
Yeah, Donegal connections and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should put up with this carry on or not.
I bet
you're a Sweeney man. That's not too far from Donegal either.
But we only passed through the way here.
wherever you came from.
Well, we originally came from Sweden. We were Svensons. Then we came to Scotland as McSweeney's mercenaries, and we came to Ireland as mercenaries.
Oh, right.
So that's the basic history of us.
Oh well.
So don't roil us because we get very cross.
We came here with the two-headed Dannon.
With the what?
The two-headed Dannon. we were washed ashore on a freak wave.
Yeah. So
we had to stay.
No.
And then we got stuck with you.
So you were something that came in with the tide. So
I'll say no more.
Oh, Eddie's going to regret having me sit down here and teaming up with you, James.
Oh God.
No, the big about Dustin is but no, we don't want to go. The 1990 leaving certificate class in our ladies. Do you know them?
Yeah, I actually.
Part of it?
No, I was looking at this on Facebook, and I was just amazed to think that 1990 in my head is still only like 10 years ago, and to think that's 35 years ago. It's crazy. Yeah. But like there was, I'd say nearly the whole class must have turned up. The pictures were fantastic.
I was trying to identify the pictures, but I didn't get too many of them. You would have. Were you in that class?
I was a bit after that. I would have been.
That.
My graduation year was 98.
98, yeah. Yeah, there would have been. Well, my daughter would have been starting maybe in 1990 or something like that. So kind of. But anyhow, they had a very good reunion, and kind of just old friends met together and had chats and shared memories and shared careers or whatever they've been doing ever since. And
the beauty of it when you have these reunions, like people come from all over.
Mm-hmm.
They do, they do.
And from America,
it's great to meet people you haven't met in 35 years. 35 years is a long time.
It is.
And like we tend to move all over the world here anyhow.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of some of the reunions, the fair day. I remember I haven't been at it for years.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember many years ago when Nora May had the hotel, and two fellas started a row in there, and the row was over. These two guys were home from England now, but one of their father's donkey had broken into the other guy's garden and ate their carrots many years previous. That was the cause of the row.
And it went on for years over the carrots.
Well,
that's gas.
they clear the bar fairly quick anyway.
I would say
But
so.
Landlower was a lovely day in Erris years ago. And
It's all
still,
changed.
still
It's
going
still
on.
a good
but,
day, but it
not the
has
same.
changed. It
not the
has
same
changed.
kind of. I mean, people met for the first time in a year.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
things and that,
Well, a
and,
lot of people work their holidays around that period of
Well,
the
that's-
year. You know,
yeah,
they
it
all
was
came
amazing to watch some people coming in, and then on the Monday after.
Yeah, but
Lower.
but
you
now-
see all the cars going out with,
Mm.
with the racks and the suitcases on.
but nowadays we have people coming from all over the world with no connection to Belmullet because of the festivals that are on. Because they come into the area and there's something to do nearly every day for almost 3 weeks.
Mhm.
You know, so it's
Well,
a fabulous place to
there
come.
certainly is a lot more to do now than
Yeah.
in them days. I mean, the likes of Solace and Ackley.
Well, when you think the
boat
cattle,
tours,
the sheep, the
safari,
pigs,
Well, Solis and Atlim are doing very well
Very
at the
well, yeah.
moment. And
Fantastic.
they were the recipients of the National Mehel Mio Award there
that's right,
recently.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think the only other organization that won the Mehel Mio Award, as far as I know, was the lifeboat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Solace is a wonderful facility to have in
It
any
is.
area, and
It's a great attraction to the area.
and it's very well run, and it's got national acclaim now, much
Yeah.
less local.
And I
and a very
believe
good restaurant there too. I think.
that's
Yeah.
exactly
believe-
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I
And
believe the
very
food
reasonably
is
priced.
fantastic. Yeah,
It's terrific, and at a very reasonable price as well.
that's
So,
it. It's not expensive at all.
I think
Nice little day out.
some of them tell me it's cheaper to go and have it there now than to cook it yourself.
And no dishes.
Exactly.
No, I know this is to be washed up.
Yeah.
Well, now, Molly McManaman, congratulations. She's of the Our Lady Secondary School as well. She received a scholarship for the Dublin University there recently, so kind of well done to her. Now, and Jagriata Erris Gailge Erish. Now, Coarjas, agus tugan siad Wilbur Boss, the Altina Scholar, a Lockpart, Ingriu, Kjol and Yevry. That's in the Kjol and Yevry event that was run recently. The Children of Erris, the National Schools of Erris, did very well and participated in the Coltus Sculpture Rio.
Mhm.
This was running in Swinford, and they did very well. Now, the Irish Wheelchair Association wishes to thank those who attended, took part in, and contributed in any way to the very successful Sean Kane concert that they had in the Broadhaven Bay Hotel there recently. And it was a very successful night, well attended by the people of Erris. The very successful fundraising raffle will be very big help to the organisation, the Irish Wheelchair Association, in their caring activities in the future. So that is, I believe Sean Kane is starting a tour of America now at the moment.
I'd seen that last night,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
on Facebook.
I mean, it's another local man doing well.
He's very good, Sean.
Yeah. No, well, I hope Paul is listening to us in Liverpool.
Are you missing him,
Because-
Eddie?
Because there was no winner of the Kilcommon Lotto this week.
They're holding it for him when he comes back.
That's probably what to do. And he didn't win the Kiltane Lotto either. Now, sorry about that, Paul, but we have no good news for you. But the Kilcommon Lotto is jackpot is 9,500. No winners. Numbers drawn were 9, 8, 21, and 24. Now, the house prize for €100 went to Yerla Calpin of Porturlin. Yerla and Huan Calpin. That's the Yerla off the bay. So Porturlin lad, anyhow, he won the €100. The €30 went to Agnes Ruddy Glenamoy, and another €30 went to Nancy Thomas Healy Bonona. The online €30 prize went to Gary Carey, Karen Fowler here in Belmullet, and the second prize, online prize, went to Brady Hamash Riley, Ballycastle. At the Kiltane GA Lotto, the jackpot is 60,600. There was still no winners. The €50 prize went to
You should have went to Specsavers, Eddie.
It's his own writing, as well.
That's the problem.
I need to go to Specsavers. Yes. So it was Brady Murray. And the second prize went to Stephanie Roach. And the 25 prize winner went to Maureen McAndrew of Knockshambo and Maureen Shields Gisala. And the Kiltane GA Bingo continues in the Bangor Hall every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Jackpot is €800 on 51 calls or less. Now, according to our local government representative, Derek Leary here, a senior occupational therapist has been appointed for Erris. That's according to Derek Leary. He was assisted by his colleague, Sean Carey, he said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rachel Lally.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Mayo boxer Rachel the Bullet Lally secured the first professional win of her boxing career as she beat Cameroon's Marie Tsimi in a hugely impressive performance, winning unanimously on the scorecards.
She did very well. That's her first professional.
She had one lined up there last year, but it fell through. But she got in the ring there yesterday and took the fight. A fair play.
Well done, Garafada. I hope she continues on because ladies boxing is getting very popular, especially ladies boxing.
Yeah,
and thankfully the money is being pushed into it where the prize money is more attractive as well. Like there was a time you had female boxing professional, but
there was a time when the female boxing,
the monetary awards weren't exactly there.
The ladies Gaelic football, they were more interested in the makeup than they were in the play.
Oh no!
See, it's not good being the only woman on the panel here.
Oh no! As we all say, feel free.
Attack him.
Let him rip it up.
Be gentle with me.
You see, the roles have turned.
Anyhow,
that's all the local news I have.
Well, there's just one item there.
That's always one, yeah.
A good friend of mine died this morning, Tommy Keane from Blacksod.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy passed away.
Many will know Tommy.
I knew Tommy well.
He was a great welder, self-taught.
Self-taught.
He was one of the best at it. And a lot of people in Erris will be driving bits of machinery.
He had a great engineering head.
He had, and he was self-taught for a while. We started national school together, and he went away to England as a young lad with his dad.
Yeah,
and he came back, and he had a great head and he was very proud of his work.
Oh, always.
If anyone came to him with a job and wanted this rushed, or I want that in a hurry, he would tell them, "Take it away.
Take it away. It has to be
Tommy
done right."
Either did it right or he didn't do it at all.
Exactly.
He was that sort of a guy. But he passed away this morning. I just heard from my brother Jerry there.
That's very sad enough.
So sad news.
Yeah.
Sad news, yeah. But I mean, that seems to be the way things were in those days.
Well, I'll tell you how
a lot of people were got interested in some kind of a trade.
Yeah, but I'll tell you how tough he was. He was out on the sea fishing with Jimmy Gertie at the time, and Tom injured his leg.
Yeah.
On deck, and carried on fishing from somewhere between 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
Only at the end to find out that the leg was broken.
With the leg broken?
And kept working for those 3 to 6 weeks. Yeah. That's how tough of a man he was.
That's a hard man that could do that.
Yeah, that's how tough.
Yeah, I know a fellow now that was playing football.
Yeah.
And went up for a ball, came down in a pothole or something like that, and then hurt the ankle.
Yeah.
But was coming up for summer holidays, and he went over to England to earn a few pounds.
Right.
And the ankle, it mended itself through times, but not
properly. Yeah.
And there was a big bone at the bottom, at the top of the ankle, the bottom of the femur or the leg shin bone sticking out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, in those days, people did not rush to hospitals
Oh,
or anything.
no.
then in
No,
those
no,
days,
people,
so we can use-
people there was another family in Blacksod who were north. One again broke his leg and he strapped it up himself
hmm
and stayed in a chair for 6 weeks.
Well, in those days, in the days I'm talking
Do it
about,
yourself.
Ken, is, there was a local GP.
Do it yourself,
Yeah.
Monte
And
Carlo.
he was the local hospital at the
That's right.
time, Ken,
Yeah.
because, but you couldn't be bothering him all the time.
Yeah. Well, this
So-
chap didn't even call the doctor. He just
Yeah.
Just took
Just
care of it
took
himself.
care of himself.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
tough some people were.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Listen, have we a bit of music lined up there for
We
us to
most
take a small
definitely
break
do.
for at the moment, and we'll go on to national news when we come back. all
Right, so we're going to go with Michael John Ruddy, who we have regularly on the show. In fact, Michael John and Tom Riley have a show themselves on Erris FM, which broadcasts every 2 weeks.
It's a great show.
So it is a great show, and it's great to have Michael John back and to have Tom on board with him. And we just extend a big thank you from taking part in Erris FM and for all those others who have taken part and joined the Erris FM
Yeah.
team.
Great.
And
team.
hopefully more will come. Anyway, here we go. It's Michael John Ruddy and the Harmonica Man.
Monica Mann.
Across this great city, all the lights they shine bright, but beneath this great picture I stand as different sight. As I stand here on Broadway and beg all alone, my thoughts drift on back to the place I call home. When I left my homeland back in '69 to make my fortune and return back in time. But the years they have passed now, and my old friends have gone, no home to return to. As my life hits the fall, my body is drooped now, my hair's turned grey. Time it has taken my young looks away. People pass by, some know me as John, the old man who begs and sings them a song. Oh, I play the big stages, yes, I know them well. My piano did jingle as my band played encore. The crystal ball glittered with dancers all around. Oh Lord, what a feeling with this great music sound. If you see the lonely, the downtrodden, the poor, there were some others, darling, there were some others, child. The years can bring changes. Yes, those bright lights can dim. Take John, for example, the harmonica man.
Yes, ladies and gents, you're back to Erris FM, broadcasting 90.8 and on Facebook and on YouTube. So why not tune in there if you're listening in, and you can get a good look at Eddie and Ted. Of course, Ted will have to be leaving us at around 2 o'clock, but we have a few guests in. So we'd like you to stay tuned to have a listen to that. And then we're going to head back over to Eddie.
Let Ted speak up for himself.
Let Ted
seeing as he's leaving us.
All right, right. Right, Ted, that's it. You're on
he's abandoning us, not just leaving us.
Abandoning them, yeah. Throwing them to the wolves. But I suppose we better wish Ireland the best of luck today against Wales in the rugby.
Definitely.
It's if we beat them, it's the
Well,
it's the Triple Crown.
Wouldn't it be an awful thing if this was the first game they lost?
Well, it was. You have to say
the first game that Wales have won.
Well, there was a violent history to the beginning of it, wasn't there, with Wales? There was a battering in a pub at one time before they went out on the field.
Yes,
I remember reading a piece on that early there.
That's a while ago.
Oh, a long time ago.
We changed things since.
Well,
we just beat them now.
I think they're both hit by injuries. I think our Mayo rep, who's captain,
but Ireland is out. On the record this year, Ireland are way ahead.
Yeah, but the beauty about Ireland is they have a lot of depth.
Yeah, well, they need it with the and of course.
Well, when you take a small nation like ours and how good of a history we have in rugby, you know the performances of some of the players, like every team in Europe wants them to play for them.
Yeah. And it also shows what can be done when we combine North and South into one team.
Majorly.
If we had that in the soccer team, and
if we had, we'd be an awful lot better.
Oh yeah,
by far.
Though, we have to give it to our soccer team now. In the years gone by, they did very well.
Well, Jack Charlton had a great squad.
He had.
Before he signed the paper as manager, he had a great squad to go to.
Well, I have a theory, whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but since the advent of computers and laptops and the kids now are stuck on these things rather than out kicking football.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look back at the history of the English soccer, when I was a kid, a foreigner on an English soccer team was a rarity.
It was not heard of, really.
It was a rarity. You know, they were all English, Scottish, Irish, Welsh.
They were.
A very odd foreigner thrown in, a very odd one. Now, I remember there last year, the year before, an English Newcastle United team. There wasn't one Englishman.
That's true, yeah.
Not one.
Yeah, and the thing about it in those days, Ted, even though it was according to GAA rules, it was illegal to play soccer and play Gaelic.
It was. You weren't allowed.
Time.
You weren't allowed to mix the two.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of people like Peggy Bonner and Crane. That played minor Gaelic football and soccer at the same time.
Yeah.
There was a time it was you weren't allowed to mix it. You'd play one or the other.
And McHugh that played for Donegal, he was playing soccer in Dublin while he was playing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, it was the height of hypocrisy that, because I remember when I played GA when I was down in Cork in school, I was playing for two teams. One under my own name and one under a different name, and they were all aware. And I wasn't the only one. Half the team were like that. We were all the students. We were swapped between teams, and our names changed with the blessing of the GAA.
With the blessing, that's the ridiculous part about it.
I played in the county championship,
and they say the GAA is not corrupt.
I played in the county championship for Dublin, Cavan, and Donegal 1 year.
Oh my God!
Oh.
So like you said, but
I remember
names.
But I remember back in the early 80s when I moved to Dublin working, I had to get released from Belmullet before I could play with a club in St. Anne's and Tala.
Well, that's because you made yourself.
And I had to wait 3 months before that paperwork came through.
Yeah,
it was hard to believe.
I was told I'd have to do that as well, but they said, "Well, come on and play today, and we'll see what goes on."
No, I wasn't even allowed on the subs bench.
I played for Bridges of Blanchardstown. They were
Bridges were always a big
junior team in those days.
Always a big squad then.
Yeah,
You'd like
we
that, yeah.
won two league medals
Yeah.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a big team.
Mm.
And then, of course, you had the Fingals.
And of course,
In
we
soccer.
got to play in Croke Park, which was a great honour at the
Oh,
time.
Yeah, and a rarity.
Yeah, and rarity.
A
Yeah,
rarity.
Yeah. But yeah, there was rules for some and different
Other
rules for others.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't it very true?
but things are different now. There's no problem in playing different games.
No.
And proper order.
Proper order, yeah. Incidentally, the GA Congress is on it this weekend.
Oh, is it? I
No,
didn't
it
know
is
that
on
now.
in Donegal, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I believe there are an awful lot of motions put forward to change the game, the style of Gaelic football at the
Again.
moment. To me, the style they have at the moment is nauseating.
Well, I'd say the reason those changes have been made is because the game had changed. It changed to the extent where there was no such thing as a Jimmy Keaveney kick for a point. A long range shot. So players were losing the ability to score long.
But, I mean,
and this 2-point give now it's an advantage to play. Maybe it'll be taken out in time when players start to take long range kicks now, but it just doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't, but why doesn't it happen?
Because of the style of it.
I can't understand why it doesn't happen.
Because
now, in soccer, it's different. You had to score goals.
Well, when you remember, probably back in your day when you were playing GA, if you were playing in defence, you got that ball out as fast as you can. You didn't pass it across the field to
not at all.
And that's what happened over the last 20, 30 years. The Kerry style changed all over the country. Every team was playing out from the back. And unfortunately, then it was played out to the back to the midfield and maybe to the half forward line. But when you got to the half forward line, if you got that chance on goal, you took it. Whereas now everyone has to get in the last quarter before they take a shot.
Yeah, but there was a competitive era to the game as well.
Yeah, massively.
I mean, you had to compete. The back had to compete with the forward to get that ball.
Yeah, but it seems to be management seems to have taken over, not alone in Gaelic football, but in all sports. I think you take soccer now, and again, when you look at the teams,
you have to learn to be a good actor in soccer.
They're passing the ball crosswards. Yeah. No one will take a shot at goal.
No, there's no long range shots now.
It's as if they're afraid to shoot in case they miss and be blamed for something.
Yeah.
And when you do get an odd young fella there in the European Cup there, I saw one young Spaniard, I can't remember his name, but he was only 16 or 17. And obviously he wasn't tuned into the manager. He took a shot from about 30 yards and right into the corner of the net. And like the place erupted.
Oh, yeah.
And all the commentators were saying, what a fantastic.
Well, it's great to see a long range scores.
Yeah. But I could just imagine the manager with him patting him on the back and saying, well done, but don't do that again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's and Gaelic football went. I mean, it
went that way.
They did.
Yeah. Well, it's kind
shortly of unless it's
it's kind of designed now to be close at full time.
Well, yeah, but take some of the games that how short the scorecards are. And it's all down to trying to get into the last quarter to score.
Oh, that's what
it's about. And unfortunately, midfielders have to be able to take a shot. Half forwards have to be able to take a chance, but they don't. They try to get it into the front line.
The way it is now, our team gets a chance to go up and score a point, but then you get the chance to come back and do the same thing the other way. So it more or less goes a point between them all the way through.
It has to be said, like there's special skills on the GAA pitch, but it's not utilised the way it should be.
No.
And I think the ladies play better football now than the lads do.
Yeah. I'm giving him the thumbs up because he's saying nice things about women now.
Well, once they drop the makeup, now the Irish team were playing the Irish ladies team. Now they were.
We're getting waved at. Hang on.
Oh yeah, but they're a bit early, but
But,
no, I'm still a hurling man compared.
I love hurling.
Watch
I have to say,
Gaelic
hurling
football now,
is a
but hurling
terrific
is a
game.
fantastic
the
game.
Terrific
skill that's
game.
in that is unreal.
And the speed and the skills are out of this world.
And when you take the range of a shot they'll take for a score,
Yeah.
and like just because they have a stick doesn't mean it's.
But the accuracy and
But that's just it. But that's the thing that's gone out of GA is they haven't got the skill or the range now because they weren't allowed to develop that. You know, you have to learn to develop that.
But
thing.
kind of the hurling kind of has been from your own half back line, you can score a point.
Oh yeah.
It's but I mean it's you can't take your eyes off hurling. It's so fast that
It is, yeah.
if you do miss a minute, you've missed a score or a complete move.
But I see that at this Congress now that they're having this weekend, they're trying to change. You know, this the kind of thing is that what you call the throw pass.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, from what I see, the hurler throw the ball slightly up there and hit it with the hand.
Yeah.
What kind of the Congress this weekend we're talking about that was a throw ball and that it should not be allowed.
Should not be allowed.
Yeah, well, it's
But that's
difficult with hurling because it's so fast. For a referee
that's
to
what they
spot
said
something
about
like that.
the style of hand pass that
Well,
Kerry brought in.
It's very hard to have a hurling in one hand and try and hit the ball with the hand. You can't use the two hands.
No.
Unless you want to drop the hurling. And you drop the hurling is a foul.
That's another thing. So you're kind of tied into a strange situation. But I have to say that everyone is glued to the Premiership every weekend. They're glued to the internationals when they get out in soccer. But that game will never match up to rugby or to hurling or to GAA. Because the passion that goes into those other games, whereas, as I said earlier, like to play soccer, you need to go to acting school, so you make sure you do that trip, properly.
The diving.
The diving, yeah, exactly.
Soccer can be very hard to watch as well.
Well, if you get
the manufactured foul should be,
and that unfortunately was brought in by the internationals.
But the emphasis now is on winning.
Yeah,
not on playing the game, it's on winning.
And like I always wondered, like, do they not realize the cameras on them? You can see how fake the dive
you can
was.
see how very fake they are. But does the referee see it?
Yeah,
but that's the beauty.
Not.
But that's the beauty of
If
VAR
he
now.
sees it, he doesn't take action.
Well, it's the beauty
Or
of VAR.
They're female
Good man,
referees
Devi.
now as well. Yeah.
There's been some controversy with VAR too.
Well, there has been, that's right. But like as they say, a lot of the ones who are watching the screen from VAR, they should be ex-footballers. They should be ex-referees, people who understand the game more. But they have people who probably never watched the game in their life. And are they watching the screen at all times?
Yeah. It's well, they have the advantage of having been able to replay these things, but it's I don't know. I wonder. Sometimes I wonder about how neutral these people are. You see, and it's. I've seen a few cases recently of referees.
There has been, and there's a referee who's got major death threats now of late.
Got his marching orders, but now he's suing the English League.
That's right. He's suing the Premiership now. I have to say.
Yeah.
And you'll have those cases coming up all the time too. It's a strange one.
Yeah. But there's so much money involved. I mean, it's ridiculous with
the professional game is to make money. That's the main thing. Make money and to make money and to win at all costs, or to engage in the style of play that's prominent nowadays.
Well,
I can't see it lasting.
Well, do you take the passion and the pain a GAA player goes through to play for his county, and what's he getting for it? But he doesn't go lying on the ground if someone
Well, it
someone
depends.
touches him and
It
he
depends
falls
on the
over.
county. Some of them might
Yes,
get in
yes, some of them are
cars
getting
and
away.
they're getting expenses
There
for
might be
this,
some
that, and
stuff
the
like
other.
that,
So,
but they're not getting a wage as such every week.
There's always a way around some.
It amazes
rules.
me, though, at the moment, with going back to the English football, the amount of money that the players, the wages they're on, and the thing.
Crazy.
And yet, you have, not because I'm a Liverpool fan,
Mhm.
but there's Liverpool leading it, and they've spent the least amount of money,
Oh yeah.
which proves that it can be done.
Oh, it can be done.
And you've got, at the other side, you've got Manchester United, who spent
An awful lot of
ransom
money. Uh-huh.
on players, and now they can't get rid of them because they're stuck with these contracts,
Uh-huh.
and they're sliding down all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. But the valuation of these players is crazy. That's the bottom line, I think.
It is the bottom line, but then the inquiry that's going on against Man City now still ongoing, but it looks like they're going to get away with it because of there was a bit of a mess up on one of the prosecutions, and they didn't get it through. So Man City are patting themselves on the back now, and they're planning on suing the Premiership over it. And it's open to other teams suing the Premiership over it.
Follow suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all backfired now.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because there was so many things Man City broke the rules on, but then by the sounds of it, the Premiership didn't exactly do things right either.
No. Well, that's par for the course in nearly everything nowadays. Nobody accepts responsibility for anything.
No.
It's the other
Very
fella's
much so.
fault.
Well, sure. Well, kind of, we can blame the other fella, but kind of maybe the next generation of people would do things differently.
Well, I wonder, because they're being, what's fact and what's fiction now in social media. It's getting even harder to distinguish.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Literally everything that comes up, you have to go on to Google afterwards and check out.
Yeah, and
Do
even
you know-
Google is suspect.
Do you know, if you go on like proper news websites and stuff like that, but like stuff's coming up all the time and it's completely untrue.
Yeah.
I think professionalism in sport was a mistake from the beginning. I think it was. Sport would have been much better to leave it amateurs.
Kind of takes the fun of the game away, and it's all.
Yeah.
Play the game for the fun of it, or for the entertainment of it.
Mhm.
But
The only thing is
nowadays,
that was never going to happen, because it was a way of making money between sponsorships, players, managers.
That's
Like,
it's all about money.
No one was going to do it for nothing at the end of the day, especially if you wanted it on the likes of a professional platform.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, even taking the GAA, I remember back in my days in Cork, they were amateur, but they weren't amateur. There was if a fella was good with one club, and Jesus, could we get a job for him in Shell?
Yeah. That's
good.
that-
And there was always something going on in the background.
you were regarded as a semi-professional.
Yeah. And you weren't being paid cash, but you were you were getting it in other ways.
There was talk at one time.
You got benefits.
Yeah.
But there was talk one time of a wage structure being brought in for players, wasn't there?
There was, yeah. I think there's still, every now and again, it comes up.
Yeah.
But
Well, especially when you take the likes of Parsons that played for Mayo, he used to commute from London every weekend for his training sessions and games.
I'm sure they were coming from the States and everything.
Yeah.
The players. It was.
Well, there was always a bit of commuting. I mean, kind of the clubs in Ireland, a lot of people were commuting between Dublin and the local club or the home club. Because the club was the important GAA part, the important part of the GAA in every county. The club in a lot of places got prominence over the county, and people would rather play for the clubs and win titles with the club than play for the county.
Yeah,
but that's gone by the wayside now.
Yeah.
You have to be out there in the front, shining some other way nowadays.
I suppose you do.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at 2:00 we have our guests, so we'll be bringing them in very soon. But in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of music, and we're going to play one from Colin Henry, and here's one entitled "Come On and Let Me Love You."
Come on
Very
in
good. Very good.
and let me love you. You can leave before the rising sun and slip away in the early shadow and leave me alone when the morning comes. I'll never turn you away when you come here to stay. I'll let you in, love you all I can. I won't ask where you've been or if you come back again. When you knock, you'll always hear me say, just come on in and let me love you. You can leave before the rising sun and slip away in the early shadow and leave me alone when the morning comes. I'm afraid to let you know how much I love you so, how it hurts to see you walk away. The sun will shine someday and find you here to stay. Till then you knock and always hear me say, just come on in and let me love you. You can leave before the rising sun and slip away in the early shadow and leave me alone when the morning comes. Just leave me alone when the morning comes.
I got up today and walked out in the garden, and there in the corner grew a rose. It reminded me of the first time that I saw you. You looked so pretty as you stood there all alone. Now this red rose was the only rose that grew there, and it tried to tell me something I do believe. It looked at me as if to say, please pick me, 'cause it's not right that I should be here by myself. Red, red roses, sweet red roses, I'd pick 1,000 roses for you, love. Red, red roses, sweet red roses, your beauty matched the petals of this flower. Every time I look at you, girl, you remind me of all the pretty flowers here that grow. But there's one flower here that has your beauty. That's the flower down in the corner, the red, red rose. Red, red roses, sweet red roses. I'd pick 1,000 roses for you, love. Red, red roses, sweet red roses. Your beauty matched the petals of this flower. Yes, your beauty matched the petals of this flower.
Hello, Eddie. We're back.
We're back. Kamali Jagi agus Falcher over Asker Radio Pobl Erish, Krilu, or Fud Erish, agus the Cantor Magurt, Erdicha, Punjat FM, agus Gajevin, Gis Fudjeg, Gis Lenchen Walla, and the Gleason Electronaha. We have 3 lovely lassies here now. Well, 4 maybe.
Yes, in from the Erris Youth Disability Network, we have Mary Dean, Magella Lavelle, and Etna Dixon, and we'd like to thank you so much for joining us today. So I suppose, first of all, could you tell us about Erris Disability Youth Network? And
well, identify yourselves first, Kenny, so everybody will know who you are.
Yes,
You
I'm Mary Dean. I'm Magella.
Yeah, but who is Mary Dean?
Well, Mary Dean is a mother, number one, and a mother of a son with a disability. And I suppose kind of my journey came a long time ago, and these girls came with me along the way. But yeah, Connor was born in 1999, and he was born with Down syndrome and had a whole plethora of medical conditions. But we got through them, and it came to school age, and he went to our own local school first. That didn't work out. So he went to Glencashel Special School. And as he was getting older, he was involved in the boxing club and different things. But it kind of became very obvious that inclusion kind of for him wasn't to be. It was getting more and more difficult to kind of do things that children of his age would normally do. So the Rose Conway and the Rural Development, was it? Yeah, Rural Development was here at the time. So I had approached Rose around funding for summer camps, because like that, the summer camps, kids could partake of summer camps, but if they had special needs, it was a no-go area. So we started off with that in Glencastle, and it just went from there really kind of to seeing the gaps that was there for young people with disabilities and raising awareness with them. And I suppose it's been a long journey. Magella was working for Rose. That's how I got to know, and Leanne Barrett. And I used to have them tortured around different things and raising awareness. And yeah, Etna then came on board, and we've spent kind of really the last couple of years kind of pinpointing gaps and trying to get stuff for them and raising awareness. And, you know, really, that's really kind of been our journey.
Where do you call home?
Home is Trash. Yeah,
Trash,
yeah.
So we'll get back to the organisation later on, but Kenny is Magella.
I would be secretary.
You're secretary.
I am secretary.
Mary is chairperson.
Yes, yeah.
I was going to say chairman, but I thought.
You have to be very careful.
Very careful.
So yes, so as Mary said, we encountered each other when I was working for Rose in Erris back when that was something that was happening in Balmullet, and then that all sort of amalgamated with Mayo Northeast, and Mary left. Rose left, and
Mayo Northeast. That was a
Mayo
part
Northeast.
of the NHLBO organisation, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Are they still in existence?
Yes, they are. They are. They have offices down on Key Street,
yeah.
between Main Street and Key Street,
where the old library was.
Yeah. over the old library.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And who's in charge there now?
Rena
Rena.
Garrett.
Mm.
I don't know who would be in charge of that office at the moment. But when I suppose it was Rose when I was there, and then they took over, and Leanne Barrett Walsh took over the office then, and she was like the office manager. So then, like Mary said, she was in trying to sort of get something up and running.
Torture.
Well,
Sometimes you have to.
yeah, so that's really
Oh,
where
that's-
it all
yeah,
came,
yeah.
and that was probably 2016.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we've kind of been grinding away for pretty much nearly 10 years.
Mm.
Well, it kind of we'll see what the next 10 years will bring. And where do you call home?
I call home Shanahy.
Shanahan.
Yeah, I'm down there.
Exactly here.
Yeah, Edna Dixon. I'm also a parent of a child, which is an adult now with a disability. Dervla is 21 in June. Again, there was no indications we had any issues with Dervla until she was about 3. She's a very rare genetic disorder, Cornelia de Lange syndrome. She's actually the only one in Mayo that we're aware of, and there's only about 20 in Ireland. Regarding the EYDN, I suppose I would have been, once it was identified that we had our own personal family issues and, for needs with Dervla and go to school. But again, like Conor, Dervla went to mainstream. She went to mainstream primary school in Kirkla, and she went for 8 years there. And after that, then she went to St. Brendan's. And after St. Brendan's, she left there 2 years ago. So she's now in the school leaver service out of the IWA. But again, regarding the EYDN, I would have come on board with the girls, I'd say about, I suppose, maybe 2018, 2019. I think I'm assistant secretary or assistant.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
are,
I
I think,
am.
from the last board.
Can't remember. And luckily at our last AGM, we've had a lot more people have become involved. There seems to be a lot more issues with kids. Maybe there's just a lot more diagnosis now. But primarily, I suppose it was Mary and Magella would have established it, and I would kind of come on board then. But, we, as I say, since our last AGM, we have had a lot more parents come on board with us. And again, it was for the reasons I got involved as well, is to identify the gaps, try to do something with the gaps, more integration, more, of our kids just trying to, rather than they don't fit in here, they don't fit in there, trying to get them to fit in here and there, and other services and facilities to fit in with them. So that's kind of primarily where the idea comes from.
Well, that's it. You want them to have the best quality of life that they can have. And I know your son, Mary Connor, he's actually going to be doing a show with the school leavers group from IWA. They're going to do a show here once a month. And Connor was in, and he was sitting there in Eddie's seat where he is now, and he was so excited to get going and be a DJ. I said he'd have to get a T-shirt now saying DJ Connor. But it's great. As I say, just because someone has a disability, it doesn't mean they can't be part of things,
Yeah, I suppose it's very, I remember when Connor was born, there was no congratulations. It was more commiserations.
Yeah.
And I think kind of as a community, we need to look at our own attitudes towards disabilities. And there is no such thing as a normal child or a normal person. Everyone has their own little disability one way or another. And it's like, as I suppose, community leaders and a town, and we need to look and see what way can we integrate these young people, because they all have something to offer. Every single one of them has something to offer, but we need to find the time to see what that is. And once they have found their niche, they will make the best employees, and they have we really need to kind of be more like them rather than them changing us to be like us.
You're right.
Because they just live in the moment.
Yeah.
They don't worry about what happens tomorrow or what happened yesterday. They just live for today.
And a big heart.
And a big heart,
Yeah.
and a lot of love. And it'd be a magical world if we could all be like that. But unfortunately, it's not. And the sad thing about it, like labels now is a big thing. And for me, labels should be only on a box. They shouldn't be on a human being. And everyone is different, because despite whatever label that's on them, they have their own personalities, their own gifts. So yeah, sometimes it do make me kind of quite angry. But we're lucky. We live in a good community, and 95% of the people will work with you. And we have done a lot now through community with schools and with the 2 secondary schools and Colostia, Rossport, and everyone is willing to help. It's just to put the wheels in motion, kind of, to do that.
You remind me there now when you said that about when you had Connor and people were giving you commiserations. I actually had a friend like that from Westport. She had her daughter had Down syndrome, and she said when she was born, everybody was commiserating me. And she
Yes,
said, I was
yes.
like, why?
Yeah.
I've had a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
I am so happy.
Yeah.
What are you saying sorry
Yeah.
for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, no more than Connor, that girl's gone on to become a karate champion, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So like the stigma and attitudes definitely need to change.
It does. It does.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that needs to start with us.
Yeah.
Do you know, it does, the way we look at things, the way we look at people. And unfortunately, our world, even though we're supposed to be moving forward, but I feel we're moving back. There's so much like hate and malice and everything in the world. And I think since we became more affluent, we became more selfish. But no, like they have so much to give. So much.
I think it's the population that have to understand what these kids are and how they're affected. They themselves, to get themselves. They take themselves as normal. Now, one of the first things I thought of when I heard about this chat we were going to have today about youth disability was kind of who was your man from Derry that sang the song "Scorn Not His"?
Phil Coulter.
To me, that's the first thing I thought of it. And it's the people that need to be educated rather than
it is 100%.
But there's no doubt about it. The kids themselves need to be supported in their simplicity.
Yeah. They do,
and not scorned.
Yeah, and if the right support,
and they are capable of doing an awful lot of normal things, aren't they?
Of course they do. They want, because I remember when Connor was in Leaving Cert, and even though there was another girl from Bangor as well, Lorena, and both of them were doing their Leaving Cert together, but they didn't even get a certificate, and their mountain was much higher than probably a lot of the children. Like for them to be in that school for 6 years. Now the school was fantastic, and the principal, Michael Welch, I couldn't have asked for better. But it was the whole academic system. It just didn't recognise, they're included, are supposed to be included, but they're not really included.
On paper, on paper they're included.
Not. On paper they're not. I think
the whole Irish attitude to people with disabilities is quite poor. I suppose.
Well, it has been poor, but things might change now.
Yeah, well, I suppose just our employment levels are so low. We're one of the lowest in Europe to employ people with disabilities. So that's a great reflection either on our governments and on, society in general. And like that with Mary, as I say, we had no indication there was any issues with Dervla, but I do remember then once it was confirmed there was issues with her and she was developmentally delayed. I had people come to my door sympathising with me too.
That would be,
and I just thought, oh my God, it was just like a funeral. I'm so sorry. And I just thought, and I suppose we were trying to progress, but it's only a word. She's no different than she was the day before. So all of a sudden, they're sympathising with the exact same child I had the day before. And Dervla's non-verbal as well. So she's now 20, so she's in a world where she is non-verbal. So her ability to communicate is not like we sit here and chat. We don't realise how we do this so easily.
But she's quite happy. She's quite happy in her condition, isn't she? Herself, yeah.
Well, but this is the thing about them, Eddie. They have to be happy, and they are more accepting of it than society is, or than we are. I love this new word, neurodivergent. Oh my God, it's bandied everywhere. But there's always a new word. There's always, but yet while we can do all these new words, we're still not addressing the base issues, and that's what we as a group are trying to do in our own little small way for Erris. We're not going to revolutionise the world. We're not going to change nationally attitudes. But if we can...
You can start the revolution.
We can, but I suppose if we can just be a voice for them, and if we can, we've got to start grinding somewhere. And that's what we intended to do was, try and improve their quality of life and improve their level of interaction and
acceptance.
And their chances to...
Integration.
Integration and their chances for further education and training after they leave school.
In employment.
Because those avenues were not open to them.
How does the special assistance in schools now work with kids like that?
Well,
are they a big benefit?
Yeah, I suppose the whole system again. My view and my experience of it is SNAs are primarily employed for physical needs.
Dervla
doesn't have any real issues with physical needs, but in order to get an SNA we had to emphasize she had various physical needs. So we got an SNA. But based on Derva's psychological needs, she would not have got an SNA. She cannot speak, but she still wasn't entitled to an SNA.
What's she on? Oh,
Because no, but we got one because we emphasised the physical needs. But I'm just saying this is this is where we're at again.
The system is very black and white.
Just goes to show you
the
things
system is
can
very
be
black.
achieved when you go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got very
Yeah.
good, Eddie, at the system, but we've got to get very good.
It's a
And we've
constant
got-
battle, I
It's
think.
a constant battle.
It is,
We
yeah.
just do it now, you know, but we see new parents starting now, especially parents, don't get married, that, you know, I suppose we're battling at this for so long. You know, Derva's 20, Conor is 20.
25 now, yeah.
25. So, but like new parents coming into the system now,
The
they're
years
just,
go
you know,
by.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
great that
Okay.
it's great that they have people like you that they can go to, as you say, it's all new to them and they don't know what
It
the
is,
heck
and I
to
suppose
get that
everybody's
advice.
yeah, everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
But even in is it antenatal classes, they say they never hit on
No.
like if you have a child with a disability.
No.
There's no like everyone wants the perfect child and the perfect package and everything else, and that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And I do think kind of for us to kind of move back another step, that's something that needs to be in kind of, you know, their antenatal classes,
Yeah.
that this can happen. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But the thing about it for us parents, it's as Etna said, it's a battle. It's a battle from the day they're born between physiotherapy, speech and language. At the moment, disability services are in complete meltdown. That's just the way it all over the country. It's in crisis. And it needs to be taken on its head and revamped again. Like, and for parents, like, in particular, we say with children with Down syndrome, they really need speech therapy from day dot.
Yeah.
You know, and it
it's
needs
very
to be
hard.
constant. Yeah. Whereas you might get maybe 3 months if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Now, I know even with Down syndrome, Mayo, they were bringing in speech therapists. They were subsidizing it maybe for 6 weeks blocks and things like that. That is not something that should be.
Mhm.
Like, as a child of the state, they're entitled to all this stuff.
When they're not getting
And they're not getting it. And parents have enough to be dealing with it besides fighting for this.
And then don't you have the problem as well with some kids and some particular conditions of actually getting a diagnosis is another battle.
Well, it is.
Absolutely.
And like, as Edna said, in order to get things, you have to have a diagnosis. You
Yeah.
have to have a label. And we need to move away from the diagnosis. You know, we really do. And whether it comes to a child that every child needs a psychological assessment, because there are a lot of kids that slip through the system that has no diagnosis or nothing. And those are the ones kind of that'll fall by the wayside.
That's it.
You know, and I remember one time Conor, well, because he was in a system that was academic led, and he'd be with his SNA doing colouring or something in the side of the classroom, and naturally enough, it'll manifest itself in behavioural problems. But I knew this guy, he was a behavioural therapist, and I brought him in and I said, will you sit in on the class with the permission of Michael Welch, just to see like if there's anything we can do.
Yeah.
And your man came out and he said, look at, he said, I've no worries about Conor. He said, there's at least 4 or 5 other children in that class. He said, I'd have real concern and worries about it. But he said,
Connor was doing the
They're
bang.
not getting any assistance.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
yeah. So it's our whole system, like our
Yeah.
whole system. It needs to be a holistic approach, you know, and our system like is so based on academics that the child that is not an academic is going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
You know, arts, culture, and stuff like that. It should be more. There should be more programs like that, and that would benefit children with special needs. You
Well,
know?
it's like you mentioned there now, your daughter Etna and Connor,
Yeah.
your son Mary, they both go to the school leavers group at
They do,
IWA. So
Yeah.
could you tell listeners a bit about that group?
Well, as far as I know, I don't know the exact figures, but I think there's approximately 15
Yeah,
to 18 people in the school leaver service. So this is a service that's offered. Like basically, you know, that's the other thing. When our kids left secondary school, you know, everyone else is filling out their CAO. Maybe they're doing their apprenticeship. Maybe they're taking a year out, but they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas our kids have to do the path that we lead for them. We have 2 options. We are offered an option to go with Western Care or to go with the HSE. The HSE offers the program of the school leaver service, which is operated out of the IWA, and that's where more of the younger adults would go. So that's the program. That's what we chose, and that's all you. That's your only
That's
option.
the only option.
You don't have any other options, and that option has to work basically because it's very hard if that option doesn't work, to divert to another option. If there
Yeah,
is only
that's it.
one
You're
other
kind of
option
going
going.
in blind. You don't know, is this
No,
going to
you
work for
don't.
them or is it
No.
not? But
And I
then
suppose,
you're stuck
you
with
know,
that choice.
even getting back to Conor and Dervla, they have gone to mainstream schools. They have had their peers for the last number of years, and now all of a sudden they're classed as having a disability. They were never had that
Yeah.
label before, but now they are, and they're all grouped together. And I always say, you never group the people with the blonde hair together. You never group
Yeah.
the people with the blue eyes together and say, right, you're all doing that one thing. But yet, here we go. This is what we do to people with disabilities. We group them all together, we fire them together, and you're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And that's, this is the system. We're not saying it's not the program. This is how the system treats people with disabilities. And basically, I suppose I've no problem in saying it. My greatest worry is, where is this person when I am dead and gone? Like, is she the best version of herself and the most independent version of herself? Whereas I don't think about that for my other children, which I probably should do, but I don't. So you've got to work on making this person the best version of herself when you're dead and gone and when you're no longer here.
It's so true.
That's what you spend your time doing.
It's kind of, I'd say it's one of the biggest worries for you, that you think, when I'm gone, who's going to look?
Yeah, and
Look
like, we
after
shouldn't
them.
think that far ahead, because we don't.
know.
You should. That's not how your life should be. But unfortunately, that
You
is
have to think of these things.
Yeah. So, but that is where they are at the moment. They can go to the SLS service, I think, until they're, is it 30? I can't even remember. But I think it's an ongoing thing. They start off at this, and hopefully at that stage.
Well, the
there
girls
will
are
be
great
something
with
else.
about their Charisse
Well, they
and
are,
Risha.
but they
and
need
that.
their own space too,
Yeah.
Rita. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
they need a home, and they're all ages. Like, the oldest is 40, I think, that's in there,
Mhm.
and the youngest is probably be 18 or 19.
Yeah.
But they need their own branches. They can be the 1 tree, but they need their own branches.
I get you, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like that, as Etna said, you
To
don't lump
function.
everyone together. And the girls are very good, but they're probably restricted from their own regulations as well. But they do need their own comfy home. They need their own space.
Mhm.
And it's something I have been battling with IWA, that they need their own site.
Yeah, that they're not kind of in with everybody else.
Well,
But
I think-
really, I think kind of in the middle of town, they done a little pop-up shop there in Murphy's, and it was a huge success. There was
Yeah.
people queuing in there. You go in, you'd see the smiles on their face. They were vibrant.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it needs to be. It's visual. It's people that say, well, yeah, they're not out in the special place.
And
They're
that
not
great
out in the
sense of
special building.
achievement that they
Yeah,
have for doing
yeah.
their own things.
It's integration
Yeah,
into
yeah.
society.
But
Ideally, it would be nice if the SLS service was like a drop-in sort of
Yeah.
centre where they could all hang out, but
Yeah.
they would be out in the community doing work,
Yeah.
because that's what they
Yeah.
really want. They want to be part of the community. They want to, have
A share in the
yes,
community.
have a share. Do stuff that they're proud of and that makes them live a sort of wholesome and a full life, like everybody
Mm.
should have an opportunity to
Yeah.
do. So really, that's the goal and the aim, that
Yeah.
to get them out into the community, get them working. I mean, even if it's a
Yeah.
couple of hours, 3 times a week somewhere.
Do they still have that employability bingo here? I remember when I used to work in Snoopy's, we had a lovely lady called Rosie who had Down syndrome, and she used to work in with us. She was fantastic. And I tell you, she was a better worker than some of them that were in there. Do you know what I mean?
Because they love structure.
Yeah.
I know with Connor. Connor needs to know every day what he's doing. And he loves that.
Yeah.
And they do. That's what I'm saying. They make the best employees. But it takes time. And I can understand from an employer's perspective, because as things are at the moment, like with everything gone through the roof, they don't have the time and the money to invest in that. Now, a new program has started. It's called employability.
Workability.
Workability, sorry.
Workability.
Employability
Yes.
is Colette, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's geared more kind of towards kids with kind of intellectual disabilities. And now they're up and running for 6 months, but like that, it's run by Mayo Northeast. And it takes a while because there's a lot of paperwork and everything involved. But hopefully it's a 5-year program. So by the end of it, we're hoping kind of that things will move on in that area. But like that, it's just difficult.
Yeah, but again, employers have to be able to buy into this.
Yeah.
training has to be able to be provided. We'll say, take someone again like Dervla going into employment. She's non-verbal, so hey, where are we going to go with this?
Yeah.
So again, rather than so it's rather
Yeah.
than say, well, she can't
Yeah.
do X, she can't do Y. It's looking at, well, how can she do X and Y?
Yeah,
So that's what it's all about.
supporting her.
What's
And
support,
I
yeah.
take it that from what you've been saying, that kind of those individual children, they do have their own abilities.
Oh, 100%.
And kind of that we, the people, need to identify
Yeah.
their abilities.
Yeah.
And help them out with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember we had a lovely fella down, he done disability training, Peter Cairns was his name. And we done it out in the IWA, and he done a lovely thing. And I think everyone that was there on the night, it made them think. He got
Cerebral
people.
palsy, is it?
He has cerebral
Cerebral
palsy, yeah.
sorry.
But he's a lecturer, like his
He's a
disability
lecturer, yeah.
didn't
He's a
restrict
great
him.
advocate for
He is, yeah,
disabilities.
But he had kind of two people to match up, and one was to be the carer, and the other one was the caree, and they had to follow them, like, everywhere they went. So he asked each individual at the time, how did it felt? For the person that was being cared for, they said they felt claustrophobic, because there was somebody on their shoulder all the time. And for the person that was the carer, said that they didn't like it either because they had to be all the time with them. And I think we have to put ourselves into the shoes of a person with a disability, and that their choices are so limited.
Yeah.
Like we seen ourselves in lockdown, in COVID, like how we felt. We couldn't go 5 miles out the road. We couldn't go into a shop to buy anything. We couldn't do this. We couldn't do that. It nearly drove the whole country cuckoo. But this is their life every day.
That's it.
They have to wait until they're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, how not to do it. So you can understand how the frustration that builds up in them. And the majority of this will end up in behavioural problems.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what do we do kind of to give them more choices in what they want to do, so that they're happier and that they feel they have a say in their own life? And I think it's to bridge that gap is the problem.
The problem you have there as well is when it comes to they do bring in something to help.
Yes.
And it works.
It does
But they
work.
only do it for a short term.
Yeah.
And that's where it's lost.
Yeah.
false
And the
standard.
stability is gone again because
Yeah.
they felt special
Yeah.
while it was there, and then it's taken away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's very unfair.
It is. And even the word special, like everyone is special,
Yeah.
and kind of like yourself, like if something has been done for you all the time, and if you're, lumped there kind of all the time, it'll grow on you. You won't want to do anything. So this needs to start at a very young level. It needs to start really in primary school, and definitely by secondary school, there needs to be things put in place that will build their independence, build their self-worth. So by the time that they're in Leaving Cert, and the programme within the Department of Education, if they're serious enough about it, will be more based on their needs than on the department's needs and on ticks on a box, and the achievements they have, that they're kind of ready for going out into the community and doing little work like that, training and assertive training and building their confidence. And like that, a little bit of drama, music, stuff like that.
Life skills.
Now,
very important.
how widespread is this organisation or this development that you're trying to promote? Is it
We're
Just
based in Erris. It's Erris Youth Disability Network, and basically, I suppose our committee now will be a lot of parents, and some other volunteers, like Nadella, and that has been involved with disabilities for quite a while. But I suppose we've been honest with you. I suppose youth. We were kind of looking at young adults, but because a lot of parents are really just kind of on the floor at the minute.
Struggling.
They really are struggling. So they've been coming to us to try and look at a few things. So just for example, I suppose one thing we are looking at is getting Special Olympics revived in Erris.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about the Special Olympics, because there is a committee that they have a meeting next Monday night.
We're having an opening information night,
You are in contact with them.
So it was us that organised this. So we contacted Special Olympics Ireland, and their regional development officer is actually coming down along with one of the directors. So we're having a meeting on Monday night at 7:30 in the IWA Centre to look at re-establishing Special Olympics in Erris again. Now, I wasn't previously involved. Mary was previously involved in it. So that's probably about 10 years since it was vibrant. But it was very vibrant when it was here at the time. So we're looking for parents, people themselves who want to be involved, anybody, just to come out on Monday night, because it's going to depend on if there was sufficient interest in
so you'll be tying up with.
So we're just coordinating the information evening to start off with.
And how This organisation, this development is going to go countrywide, is it?
Well, it's a national organisation.
National
Yeah, it's a
organisation.
national
That's
organisation.
Special
There
Olympics.
is an
Special
established national organisation already, is
For
there?
Special Olympics, is it?
Yeah, no, for
Oh, no,
people
the-
with
No,
disability.
we're just
The
local
EYDN
based.
is just Erris based, and we're now registered as a charity, and we have our own charitable status number. But no, it's just a group got together, and we developed this to I suppose get things going, to look at where the
Raise
gaps are,
awareness, yeah.
to raise awareness, to try and
Mm.
fulfil the gaps and whatever else. But this is just us
But
here in Erris.
it will go to national status.
Well, I don't know. Every area is doing their own thing, Eddie. I presume. You know, we're all just
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of.
no, but
you know.
I think it's something that should go to national status.
Well, I presume there is similar type committees in lots of other different areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different
yeah.
places that have
You know,
a different.
But we're
Yes,
just looking
different
at the
groups.
different things we can do. Another thing we're doing, like we're
But
here's well
there'll
progress while we're here.
there'll always be the awareness.
Oh
in-
yeah,
in-
the need
in-
is there. The need
the
will
need
never
is
not
there,
be there.
yeah.
And I think
So
unfortunately.
it's just a matter of a leader that'll bring
Yeah.
them all together.
Yeah.
And it's a growing sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think people advocating for disabilities, it's becoming more popular. You have like that company As I Am now, and they're doing some fantastic work with, well, autistic people really.
Yeah, and
Um,
association with the Special Olympics team would give you good publicity as well, wouldn't it? Or
Well,
good
Yeah, well-
establish good awareness in
Even
the
though I
country.
think it will be, we're really just facilitating it,
Mm.
you know, and then once like a committee and stuff is established, they'll sort of go off on their own kind of thing.
Hopefully, we're,
Yeah.
we're
Hopefully that is
hoping
the
people
plan,
get involved.
Because they're a national organisation, so you already have bank accounts and
Yeah, everything is
a lot of the
everything
work
is
is
set up,
already yeah.
and it's just kind of it's just another choice for young people that if they want to partake in it, it's trying to get volunteers. I think every organization is crying out for volunteers. Volunteers is the problem. And we as parents before ran it, but we're not getting any younger.
Mm.
And for the young people, they need to see different faces rather than seeing our clocks every 5 minutes.
It's
So-
something like the Erris Athletic Club could get involved in. as
Well,
well.
Edna is
I
involved
know
in
she's
that.
involved in that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they are doing excellent work.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
moment, yeah.
yeah. But again, with Erris Athletic Club, we have something like 200 and something kids, and we are struggling to get enough volunteers
Yeah.
and trainers
I know.
to train
I know.
the kids. You know, so here we go again.
Volunteerism is on the wane. Yeah.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an age-old problem.
Yeah.
But,
Another
but
project.
I think something like the youth disability, what a banner like that to show to the world, I think it should succeed.
Well, other projects we're involved in now at the moment is called GAA for All.
Mm.
Currently, you know, you have your regular GAA club, and I wasn't even aware of it, but somebody brought it to our attention at a meeting. GAA for All is where they will identify, we'll say, kids from 18 downwards, so to be the board and oak level, with, like, suppose parents have been saying, right, we go to GAA training, there's 20, 30 kids there. Johnny's left on the side because he kind of, you know, maybe just due to stimulation issues or just to ability or whatever, he never gets on the team, blah, 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 blah. So we just contacted the GEA, who put us in contact with Mayo Sports Partnership. And we've got Ray McNamara coming down on the 4th of March at 7 p.m. in the Broadhaven. And he's going to look at developing a GAA for all for Erris. So within GAA clubs, you would have a GAA all for section. So it would be just a section.
Who's that now, Claire?
Ray
Ray
McNamara.
McNamara. He'd be the disability
But
officer.
what
with
we
Mayo
spoke to him
Sports
is maybe
Bank.
we look at developing a GAA all for Erris rather than, like, we have 4 GAA clubs within Erris. We have like Balmullet, Kiltane, Kilcommon and Ballycroy. So we've contacted each of the clubs and we're having this information meeting with Ray McNamara on the 4th of March.
4th of March.
Yeah, so we're hoping from that we might be able to develop GAA for all the kids of Erris. That be just one club, because you don't have the numbers to develop for. You don't have the volunteers to
Yeah,
develop for different.
we'll give that.
Yeah,
We'll
so
give
we'll
that
see
a
how
plug
that-
on
and
the
again-
radio for all.
And again, we'd be hoping, you know, for parents especially, you know, they're going to have to come out and get involved in that initiative. And we're also involved in the Autism Friendly Town initiative. And that's actually being led up by the moment by Eva Lindsay. So again, it's looking into Balmullet becoming an autism friendly town. I think Westport, Ballina, I'm not even sure where else in Mayo are autism friendly towns. They look at just various things within, you know, shops or whatever, of lighting decrease, noise decrease. So we're just looking to, we're just becoming registered to start off with and looking at just a few different elements of that. So I think that's hoping to get launched in April, May time. And that's running, I think, nationally with As I Am, isn't it? That's Simon Harris's brother. That's actually, he developed that guy.
Yeah,
He supported, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got an autistic son, hasn't he?
Yeah. And we also have, I suppose, on a time out, we would have our own social club. So within the EYDN, we developed what we call it just a social club. So rather
That's our
than
acronym.
You have a lot of work ahead of you.
so we just plan a night out.
You're going to need more help, aren't you?
Oh, we're always anyone that wants to help us. We're always willing
But
to take it.
unfortunately, volunteerism is on the way at the moment. So,
Well, I suppose kind of there's so much red tape around being a volunteer that
the first
people
thing
are put off.
Yeah.
well, maybe if we got rid of the mobile phones, we get more volunteers.
Well,
and-
vetting is such a big thing now, and that's
Yeah.
I don't actually do an awful lot with the athletics club at the moment, but I look after the vetting, and I think I've 30 vetting applications to do with the
I think the athletic club
Wouldn't it make more
filled the big
sense?
vacancy that was there.
Oh,
They did,
yeah,
no doubt
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
It'd make more sense if you like an overall garage of vetting you can get, because like every organization
You
you
have to
go
have
to, you have to
separate
get another new one
Yeah.
for
It's
it.
crazy.
Yeah. They should have
Definitely
like a
would.
top-up card.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, you
Should
should
be
have one of
attached-
those little
It
cards.
should be attached to your PPSN number.
Yeah, it
Just
should
make
be.
it easy,
Yeah.
make it
Everything's-
simpler.
Yeah.
Well, you were mentioning there how you have the nights out and that, because I know myself and my mum went to see ABBA by candlelight.
Oh,
You
yeah,
were
we
there.
at that.
You were there that night, and you
Yeah.
could just see they were having the time of their lives,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
wonderful. But like that, I'm sure when it comes to organising these nights out and stuff, back to volunteers again, you need the help for on the buses and escorting.
Yeah.
But it's generally
And
ourselves
everything.
kind of that to be. But I think kind of the one thing I'd say about it kind of as a parent is that you need to be proactive.
Yeah.
You do need to be proactive, and you need to get involved. And I think through that you meet some other parents, and you have your own network. And like through networking with strength, you'll achieve something.
Yeah.
On your own, it's very difficult. And if you're having a bad day, like we'll meet up and we'll have a bad day and we'll have a good round moan. And
your
then you move
support
on.
for each other, though,
Yeah,
as well.
it is. Yeah. But I think kind of parents, and I know it's difficult, like, and it can be very difficult, but I think you do need to be proactive, you know, but bringing your kids out, getting involved, you'll have a happier child and a happier parent.
And I think it's important as well for parents of, say, like mainstream kids, for want for a better word. Like, it's important that we kind of educate our children that if there is a child in the shop that maybe act a little different or look a little different, that like the kids understand and they know that they're not staring or do you know what I mean? Like, because I know myself, I did a lot of work with ARC, the charity supporting children with disabilities in Mayo. So I would always make sure when we had events that I would bring my daughter along. And now she's very passionate about getting a job, working with kids with autism. Yeah, because, do you know,
Generally, children are very acceptable.
Oh, very.
Anyway,
They really
I
are.
think it's
I
probably
see my
adults.
own 6-year-old grandson, and himself and Connor, but they've kind of very similar personalities, so they do rub off one another. And they were fighting over the TV, and it was something on the TV. And Lorcan said to me, "And Nanny, why is Connor always so contrary?" Well, I said, you have to remember Connor has an intellectual disability. And I said, sometimes it's hard for him to process things. And I said, there's always someone kind of telling him what to do or what not to do. So then when a 6-year-old niece comes and tell him what to do, naturally enough, he's not going to take it too
get
easy.
frustrated.
And oh yeah, I never thought about it like that, and it was fine.
But that's
we
what
had
it is,
peace for about half
explaining.
an hour, and then all hell broke loose
Well,
again. But at least he understood.
But that's it. It's
But
explaining.
I know from growing up for years ago, kind of thing is you don't have to have an intellectual disability to be contrary.
Yeah.
All kids can at
Yeah,
times. I
yeah.
mean, it's part
Yeah.
of growing up contrary.
Yeah, but Connor, it have like OCD about his stuff, so naturally enough, they'll be in pulling at things, and sure, he do freak out, like, you know. But it was getting him to understand why he was behaving the way he was, you know. But yeah, I think kind of if you're open and honest with them, they're fine.
Yeah, and like
Well,
if
that's
it's-
what you need to be. You need to be open and honest and not critical.
Yeah.
Suggest different ways of doing things,
Yeah.
and don't
Yeah,
criticize.
exactly. Yeah.
Like the man in Jerry said, score not.
Yeah.
Score not to simplicity.
Yeah.
And have you got like any fundraisers coming up for that?
We've no fundraisers as such at the moment. So but we're always looking at new projects. We're always looking at, we don't have, I suppose, a huge financial outlay. It's more bodies, and it's more, hours of need and hours of volunteering.
Yeah.
But look at, to even help the parents, to develop the Special Olympics, develop GA for all, get engaged with the Autism Friendly Town, more people to come along, get involved in the social club. Like even the night that we took them out at Christmas, and we were just saying to ourselves afterwards, like we went to OD's and we had a pizza party, which was supposed to be pizza and pool, but we realised so few of them can play pool. So we were even saying, wouldn't it be just nice to get somebody to come in casually? Because we were saying, like, at least if they can play pool, they can go to a pub. And, not at the height at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody's totally rammers. But, so they could go to the pub, have their drink, play a game of pool, play some darts. And
it's
go.
A social outlet.
And again, it's more integration, and it's socially including them with everybody else. So maybe they were looking at, and dancing, we're saying, that's another thing. Like Martin just was great with the tunes, but, and they love the stimulation of it.
Well, I was talking to one girl, and she does Zumba, and now she hasn't done it for a while, but I said to her, even if it's only once a month, so she's thinking about it. And I was talking to Jackie Coyle, and he said he might have a word with some of the pool team, and they get them in kind of for do a bit of training with them. So like the goodwill is there. It's just, I said, sometimes it's to point it out to people.
I see that they've been gifted 2 pool tables out in
Tisha.
So you might be getting a bit of practice.
Gallagher, But still, it'd be great just to get them into ODs or somewhere else to play pool rather than just playing pool. Like, great to practice out there. But it's just all about integration into society. Like, like we go out, and I find that hard as well. When Dervla wants to go out, she can only go out with me and Eamon. And like she might go out with her brothers, but that's okay for the first time when everybody's sober, but then that gets dangerous.
Yeah.
So, and then she gets pissed off because, she doesn't want to be with us, obviously. She wants to be with all of them.
Yeah, she's getting older.
So like that kind of social, that's very hard. And that's not going to change because it's not safe, obviously. So she, but she would just stay out all bloody night long if she got away with it. And then you think she's 20 and she's sitting beside her mother for the night, and then would not be verbal, she's again not engaging. And then Dervla communicates with, say, by the phone or the odd sign or writing. So like you can't be up at McDonald's, which you're writing down anything, at 1 o'clock in the morning. But, so the social side of it is very hard, and I would love there to be where they could go out in a social setting and be more integrated with their peers, because that's what they want, is their peers, isn't it? They want their own age.
They want the crack.
They want normality.
They do, yeah. Especially since they've been through a system that has given them a certain amount of normality for so long, and then it's like giving them a sweet and taking it away from them.
But being non-verbal, is there any possibilities of changing that?
For Dervla, is it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I suppose, she has very few words. She would have, but she's had the same few words for years and years. So I don't think that's going to improve. It's very strange. If it ends in a T, like out, night, 8, we have all of that. But we don't have a sentence. But like she did years and years and years of speech therapy, and I used to be, oh my God, what is the point? But like now, she just gets out her phone. She's actually texting me there now. So she's, she will text.
Things are moving on as well.
Technology has its benefits.
Technology is taking leaps and bounds. So it could happen.
Yeah.
Like what they did
for
sign language.
What they did with Charlie Bird. How they voiced over his voice. That happened to Charlie Bird. So stuff like that is improving, for people. But I suppose Dervla never had a voice in the first place. But Dervla's very content in her world. Like Connor's probably quite content in his world.
They all usually are.
There's a lot to be said for being, like, I wish the other kids were as content in their world.
It's only us that think them abnormal.
Yeah,
that's right.
They themselves think they're normal.
Therein lies the problem.
Therein lies the problem. And as I say, I think really the social element of it for them is just greatly.
It's difficult, I think, once they get to that age, because they just want to be out socializing with their peers. and that isn't an option for most of them.
And they have the same hormones and the same needs and wants and desires. And there's a guy, Dervla, has fancy for so long. I'd say he's blocked her 50 times on Snapchat. And like, thankfully, she doesn't even recognise that he's done that. But and that's very difficult. It's like, what do you say to her? What do you say to him?
Yeah, they're young people. They're going to have all these emotions and thoughts.
And that's never discussed. That's never.
Oh, no.
There's never any training. There's never any how do we. And like, I don't know how you do prepare them, but their worlds are so limited in that element. It's like when Dervla was like 11 or 12. We were going to be given a psychological review of how to tell her about her periods. Oh my God! So we've got to get a psychologist to tell her how, like, to deal with us, how we were going to deal with it.
Yeah. It's a difficult journey as you reach various milestones in their lives.
It's a difficult journey for anybody. But I think kind of in society, we haven't moved a whole lot. No. If you mention the word sex, everyone will be running different directions. And it's just the actual talking about it. And I think we need to kind of be more open and honest, and from a very early age, and name and body parts, and not call them funny names and stuff like that. That goes with it.
I think though, with the disability thing, when they're going to school, mainstream school or whatever school that they go to, when they're younger, even in secondary school, they're mixing and they're included, and I think the problems get worse or whatever once they sort of come away from mainstream school, and they're getting older, and all of these complicated feelings are happening in their bodies, and that's I think when it is tougher. I'm not saying it's not tough when they're younger and you're fighting for all the services that you need for them, but I think definitely it seems to be that once they get older, it's more of a struggle and a challenge.
And more times than not, like organizations like yourself, you'll always see it's by the parents coming together and seeing what, like, I know one lady from up in Meath, her name's Carol Lennon, and she has 5 children on the spectrum, and she spent her life fighting for rights, and fair play to her. She's about on her 40s now. She went back to college to become a lawyer so she could fight more, and then she became a counsellor and got voted in for her community. So she has that bit more power to fight.
I think we need to nominate Mary to go forward.
Does that?
And I really think something we need to be doing stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure that I possibly have.
Well,
met
do you know
her.
what you're saying? As I am, and I'm thinking I've heard of that through her. So
Yes.
maybe we possibly
I do
Yeah.
have used to the name. I do.
Yes, and I think that she was there that night, the meeting that they came down to in here actually, and I think she was one of the ladies who was there.
Yeah, maybe
talking about her story and
she's
how
really,
she was involved.
But
that's like amazing,
That was her,
yeah.
It's a great thing to do.
We do host regular enough coffee mornings, and the idea behind those coffee mornings was really getting parents together, giving them an avenue to talk about whatever issues they might have. It might be nothing. Yes, absolutely. It might be nothing to do with disability, but it might be. And there's a lot of services out there and a lot of help, and a lot of parents aren't aware of these services. And getting them together, people share that kind of information.
Well, I know ARC.
We have contacted ARC.
They're trying to get in to this area.
So we're waiting for them to come back to us now on that. So if you can help with that,
I will. I'll get on to them.
We the girl I spoke to, I can't remember her name.
Catherine, was it?
I'm not sure she had a hospital appointment or whatever, but she said that she'd come back to us because whoever would be coming in, they work, and so they'll be only available at the weekends.
Right.
So we're hoping that they'll come in and meet.
Yeah, because I'd seen she'd put up on Facebook how they were planning on doing some events down here, and if anyone would be interested.
Yeah, there is.
Because they're great. They put on fantastic events for kids, like they really do. Between like Christmas, Easter, all the seasonal times, they always put something on. And
the more that's coming in, the better it is.
There's another project in Ballina called Flow, and they would deal with young adults now, I think similar to what we are, and they would deal with like social outings, and I think they have a disco and this kind of stuff. So we're open to contact them as well.
That's it. It gives them as much of a normal life as.
Oh yeah. But I think anything kind of that's parents led, because your focus. It's not as if it's going to be hot and cold. It's something you're constantly in the middle of. So it's something you want to improve, because even with the 2 ladies from Mayo Autism Camp, and they started off like that, running a summer camp.
For parents.
Yeah, just for their own kids. and they got involved with, was it Minola?
Yeah, Manila
GA club.
Manila soccer. Yeah.
Soccer,
Or
yeah.
soccer club.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
now she said the first
It's
time they
huge.
advertised it, they had over 100 children. And now it takes off every year, and they done, I think, one for Halloween.
Yeah.
And like parents
That's
got
brilliant.
involved.
Yeah.
So it's amazing once the parents get involved and everyone is helping everyone, what can be succeeded.
That's it.
So I think that's the key to the success, because nobody will come and hand you a silver spoon. Definitely
No,
not.
definitely not.
You just have to kind of go and grab
Oh,
it
no,
yourself.
well, you need to get the parents involved, but
Yeah.
you need to get the general public involved as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and
Support.
understanding what
Yeah.
what the problem is. It's not really a problem. It's not a problem that can't be solved.
Not at all. Not
And
at all.
for social evenings as well, Ken, I
Yeah.
think that would be very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how will they, if it's anybody listening now who would like to get involved and volunteer, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, they can get involved with either the three of us.
Have you
Yes.
telephone numbers or anything?
Well, I
like that?
can.
Or, well, not any. I know you all have a telephone number.
Yeah, there isn't a designated one as such.
Is there an organisational?
We have we platforms on social media. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, aren't we?
We are, and we have email.
And we have email. So if
Mhm.
anyone wants to contact us, or they can contact
And
any of us.
if ever you want to announce something or let us know here, and we'll
That's a great
we'll
job.
send it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
No bother.
We
Great.
give you an update.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
give you an update of how the Monday night meeting go with
Yeah,
Special
that-
Olympics.
that's
Just to
very
see what the outcome of
interesting,
that is.
Yeah.
And also for the GA for All project, and
Mm.
also for the Autism Friendly Town. So we'll see how they pan out.
So do you want to say the time of that meeting again for
Right.
listeners?
So the Special Olympics meeting is on Monday. That's the 24th at 7:30 in the IWA Centre.
Yeah.
So that's 7:30 IWA Centre this Monday, and the GA for All meeting. That's on the 4th of March at 7 p.m. in the Broadhaven. So that's the two meetings we've actually arranged now that's coming up at the moment.
Yeah, 4th of March. That's with Ray McNamara.
Ray McNamara
Oh,
from
Ray
Mayo Sports
McNamara.
Partnership, and that's like geared towards, it's anybody with a child with any type of additional needs under the age of 18, and if they want to participate in GA sport. So trying to establish one club, but again, it's going to be based on parents getting involved and support for training or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's where
okay.
we're at.
Mental disability should not be a handicap to physical ability. Or is it?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Mental disability should not be a handicap to physical
No.
disability.
No.
No,
So
no.
kind of somebody with a mental handicap should be able to play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Play
yeah.
Gaelic
Yeah.
football or
It should
be
Gaelic
open, yeah.
football or,
It should be
Yeah.
inclusive.
or like racial alley boxing or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
she
like
did
there
very well.
seems to be so many, different needs and disabilities, and it's got a lot worse in the last few years. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
COVID.
COVID,
I
I
don't know.
think,
I
has
don't know.
had
Is
an
it that
awful-
or? But there's a lot of young people. I suppose I know my other son would play GA, but God, they have so many issues now. So many of them, and these are grown adults, and it's not plain. It's not straightforward for anybody anymore, is it? It's just so complex, and they're. I don't know. It's just.
If that's the case, then
And
for
I suppose going
say,
forward, you will
mainstream
need some
people.
funding as well.
Sorry.
Going forward, you will need some funding. Have you any fundraising activities planned? Or
We are quite lucky that we get a lot of support from Mayo Northeast.
Yeah.
So
They're
they're
their social
Yeah.
inclusion fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Etna said, I suppose earlier, that we aren't at this very moment in time doing a lot of stuff we need money for. I suppose the coffee morning, Mayo Northeast tend to cover the cost of that. The social club, yes, we do pay for that, but we've only had a couple of sort of outings, one of them being local, and people are very good generally. So the ODs covered the food that night. The Orisons Laura covered the music. So people,
I imagine sponsorship would be
Yes.
readily available for a good
Yeah.
cause like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. So
Now are we gonna?
Go dancing, Eddie, isn't it?
Would you run along?
You expect me to dance with you?
Well,
James,
oh God,
do
no.
you?
God, no.
What three lovely lassies? We said, four of them, four lassies.
Well,
He's forgetting about you anyway.
I'll tell you now.
She came in because I was the only woman in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted me to be gentle with her today, so
Oh,
that's why I'm being so nice to her.
Well, I tell you guys, if you're going to have a social
there'll be
event
another day.
for, you can count me in that for free music. I'll
Thank
I'll
you
play
so
music
much.
for you.
We might take you up on that.
Oh, definitely.
You're nice the odd time.
Oh, very seldom now.
Listen, it's been a very, very informative experience for me, anyhow. And I hope you will go from strength to strength.
Well, thank you, Eddie.
And
it was lovely to be asked in.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's been an
Thanks,
hour.
Rita.
Like,
Yeah, it's just flown.
If there's anything that we can do here as an organization, we're here.
Thank
Okay.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thought.
Yeah, we keep maybe in touch with you how things are going, and
Oh, yeah,
you can give
yeah.
updates and just
If you have-
see
The
how.
Up and
Erris
coming.
Journal as well, but me, anything you want.
Yeah.
to
If you have any function planned or any fundraising planned or anything like that, let us know. We'll.
But we'll keep you up to date on all the aforementioned.
And not just us, but
Yeah.
the local press as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's great.
Well,
Well,
thank you very
Well,
much.
ladies,
Thank
it's
you.
been an absolute pleasure and
Thank you.
and very
Cheers.
informative.
Thanks,
And I hope
Thanks very
that
much.
people who are listening, if they do have time that where they can help out, you know, you've been given the contacts, and of course you can get them on Facebook. And
Yeah.
of course, time doesn't cost money.
No.
That's it. Anyway, ladies, thanks very much for
Thank
coming
you,
into
guys.
Erris FM, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you and all the best now.
The years has passed now so slowly. She remembers his blue eyes and sweet smile. She knows now she never will see or hold her blonde blue-eyed boy who gave you the right to break bondage or part this young mother and child. You should hang your heads in shame now, for you sold this young mother's great joy. Those greedy and selfish humans has broke the love bond she once knew. They say they stand for Jesus, but Jesus loved all children so true. Yes, they say they stand for Jesus, but Jesus loved all children so true.
This is your community radio station, Erris FM.
There's a piercing northern breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I button up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with my fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I've a fine felt and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for and my fiddle strings are new, and I learn a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is growing green as winter is, and the geese are on the wing, and the thrush she starts to sing, and I'm headed down the road to meet some friends. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in my pocket for and my fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I have friends in every town, as I ramble up and down, making